the mic, talking day and spilling life, from trending memes to wildest dreams. Girl, did you hear that crazy thing? Girl, did you hear what's going down? We're lighting up this whole damn town. Strange and trending every week. Bestie vibes that'll never peak.
So it was like two intimidating men that had been reported just showing up at random apartments.
Going from like apartments to apartments and just like roughhousing these people.
So they find this random like bin with something
liquid
in
in it.
And some crazy liquid that I guess whenever you opened it like
smelled like chemicals.
Yeah, very chemically.
Yeah.
So of course they get the hazmat people in there. So they pull out what they thought could have been body parts.
That's what they assumed.
Yes.
That like he sees this man, pick this man up by his neck and like just do things like the ragdoll thing. Like his feet are no longer touching the ground.
Hey guys, welcome to Girl, Did You Hear?
The ultimate bestie hangout. I'm Jessica.
And I'm Kristen. Today is episode 68. We have an interesting one today. A lot of layers.
Oh, yeah, man. Lots of people. A lot of nicknames, too.
Nicknames, layers, a pretty lengthy story, I would say. This one's on Netflix right now. It is a top 10. It's the second season of the Missing Dead or Alive seasons, which I've watched the first seasons before.
Did you?
Yeah. Like a while ago.
Yeah, back when the first season released.
Yeah. So I was interested that it came up, and I was happy that you recommended to watch this one. And I was like, yeah, let's do it. All right. So this one starts out in Richland County, South Carolina, the first one. So there's kind of like multiple cases broken down into episodes.
Right. This series is really more dedicated to the area in which these people are missing, because it's Vicky Raines, I believe is her last name.
Yes. And she's one of the sergeants.
She's kind of the lead officer in all these cases. So
Yeah.
I think it's more of a like the missing people in this area.
Correct. Like for that county.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's like her missing cases.
Correct. Yes. So Sergeant Raines, as you said, kind of like is like the leader of the whole thing, pretty much.
Yeah.
So opening scene, kind of weird.
Very bizarre. Like throws you off for a little bit because you're like, wait a minute, what am I watching?
Yeah. You like get thrown into a very hectic scene of a missing 3-year-old boy in the woods.
Right. Right.
Police are searching everywhere. Mom's chaotic. Freaking out. Police are trying to calm her down. You know, they have everyone searching everywhere for this little boy and the dog that was with him also, apparently.
Right.
Which kudos to the dog because it stayed with the boy.
Right.
And then they find the boy, then the scene ends.
Right. They're like, ta-da, look, we can find people.
And like, that was it.
Yeah.
And then it goes to the next call. And I was like, oh, okay. And so.
Seamless transition.
Yeah. It was just like, bam, bam. Like, oh, we're here now. Okay.
Okay.
So now we're into part 2. There we go.
Yeah, right? Like, so that was part 1. It was like a hot 10 seconds at the beginning of this episode.
I think it was like less than like 10 minutes of like the first episode.
No, it was not. It just goes to show that they find people.
Yes. It's a good point to bring up too.
Yeah, right.
So then they go into the part 2, and Sergeant Raines gets a phone call about a missing boy named Morgan. And he's not a boy, he's adult.
27 years old.
Yeah, he's an adult. But Mom had called in that he was missing because she hadn't seen him since Thanksgiving. And it was very unlike him to not call her on a daily basis. And so she said that she hadn't heard from him since Thanksgiving. And by that time, it had already been like 7 days. And so she was pretty worried. They had, put in missing persons, whatever. And so that's when the deputy gets this information, gets the phone call. So then they start, the investigation. The mom's name is, I hope I pronounced it correctly, Mrs. Duncan. But her first name is Latanza, I think, or Latanza. But Miss Duncan did inform the deputy also that her son Morgan is schizophrenic,
right, and
does struggle with some mental health issues.
So he's on, he needs constant medication.
Yes, and he lives in an apartment building with other people, other adults. They all live independently, but it's a complex where a lot of other adults that have mental disabilities and struggles are able to live on their own independently.
Right.
In a more cost-effective way, you know, and so forth. And it's kind of like overseen by like caseworkers of some sort.
Right. It's a program.
It's like
if you will.
a nonprofit of some sort.
Yeah.
That kind of helps these people live normal lives, essentially. So this is kind of like, you know, just painting the picture of like the scene and the environment that Morgan lives in. It seems like a cute little, you know,
nice
small complex. Everyone's pretty like close knit there. It seems like everybody kind of knows everybody, helps each other out, looks out for one another. A lot of people in the surrounding area of his apartment knew Morgan. And they all said that he was very friendly, super smiley, very helpful, you know.
Right. Just all around
good
like,
vibes
great guy.
Yeah. So the sergeant goes to his apartment, of course, to kind of look around and see what's going on there. When they're searching through his apartment, they notice all of his personal belongings are still there, like phone, social security card, ID, wallet, all the things, money, everything is still there, which isn't really like someone.
To leave
To
the
just
house
leave.
with that stuff?
Yeah.
No, are you kidding me? I mean, granted, I am kind of a space cadet, so I do leave the house without some of the important things.
I'll turn around if I realize.
Like, it's hard for me to like get out of the house without those things. Like, I mean, even if I'm coming over here, I still have 3 out of the 4 of those things.
Yeah.
You know?
Plus extra supplies in case you need something.
I think that's more girl brain than anything else, right? But it was weird that all of this stuff was left behind.
Super, super weird.
Yeah.
Obviously, the police thought that was weird. So they, you know, start taking pictures of all of those things around his apartment. They're talking to some neighbors and stuff. And then as they're kind of meandering through the parking lot, they run into this girl. And the girl kind of approaches
like, out
them.
there. Yeah.
And was like super friendly and kind of approached them and was like, hey, like, how's it going?
You're right.
What are you guys doing? You know, and like strikes up a conversation with the officers, and they thought that was weird.
Right.
And so they're like, yeah, we're looking for Morgan, whatever, kind of asking her questions. And she was like very forthcoming.
Right.
With information, super friendly, was homeless and living in a
her
vehicle.
boyfriend's apartment or something like that? I don't know.
Or
she
vehicle.
was living with her boyfriend.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So they kind of had a small interaction with her. They leave that scene momentarily, and that's what the cops are like, that was weird.
So
like,
one of the things that I caught on to when I was listening to her interview, and the cops also said, is that when she was referring to Morgan, she was referring to Morgan in the past tense.
Yes. Which,
when you talk about someone who's passed, you talk about them in the past tense.
Yes.
Right. So if she didn't know where Morgan was, I would just assume he was alive, so I would speak to him in present tense.
Right, because other witnesses and people that they interviewed or spoke to in the area spoke of him in present tense.
Right.
They didn't speak of him in past tense.
Right.
So that was interesting. And
was
good
like
on that,
red
Sergeant.
flag.
Yeah. For picking up on that, you know. I do want to say I felt like they did a really good job investigating this whole case.
Yeah, they did a really good job editing this show.
Yes. I mean, yeah. I mean, we don't know, obviously, how everything went down, but the way that they portrayed it in comparison to other investigations that we've seen, I felt like they portrayed it in a way that they did do a pretty thorough job, because they ended up making an arrest in the end.
Well, this is also the first, I think, missing persons case we've done.
True.
No.
Amy Bradley.
Yeah.
That's funny. Okay, back on track.
Anyways.
Okay. So.
But yeah, no, I understand. This is, I mean, us being able to watch Vicky's whole process, you know, kind of like how the investigation stalls out and how she kind of like reinvigorates it, and like how all the little pieces come together was really fun to watch. Yeah.
Excuse me. So the police are kind of interviewing just random people. that are friends of Morgan's. They interviewed a guy named Micah, who was friends with Morgan. He had saw a few posts on Morgan's social media that he was like downtown or something like late at night and thought it was weird that he was like posting so late at night and stuff like that. They're just trying to get information, right?
Right. They're trying to like see where he was,
together.
figure out like where he was last.
The police talked to the caseworker of Morgan and kind of like that helps oversee a lot of those clients there, and is informed that there have been reports of people taking over apartments within this complex.
The Spring Hill complex. Yeah.
Yes.
So it was like overrun by a group of people who had very bad intentions.
Yes. So it was like 2 intimidating men that had been reported just showing up at random
just
apartments.
Going from like apartments to apartments and just like roughhousing these people, trying to like shake them down for money or try and like get whatever they needed out of them.
Hiding there, doing business there, whatever.
And so they were just using this place as like a place to sell their illegal stuff.
Yeah, totally. And like they hurt a lot of people too, like physically in the process.
They roughed up a bunch of grannies.
Yeah.
I was kind of mad about that.
I know. I was like, geez. So during their investigation and talking to people, the police, one of the witnesses drops the name Jersey as a possible suspect or someone that could have been involved, right? Witness number 2 was beat up by these alleged men and had her apartment taken over by them. And witness 3 also drops the name Jersey and was with Morgan, drops the name Jersey and says that he was with Morgan and James Kelly.
Right. They were seen around the complex.
Together and so forth. So they were all, he was kind of like throwing out those names as possibilities to look into as well.
Right.
To figure out where Morgan went because he has disappeared.
Right. So they get to Mr. James Kelly.
Yes.
His interview was hilarious because he was pissed.
But go back to when the cops first even go knock on his door.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
The first interview they did with him, he was pissed. They're like, "Do you know Morgan?" He's like, "Yeah, and I'm mad." And they're like, "Why are you mad at him?" He's like, "Because he's got the cops at my door." And I'm like, bro. And that's when she peeps
past him at the door
at 2 people in his apartment.
Yeah. And so she calls whoever she needs to call after that to get like a search warrant or something to go further into the apartment because he wouldn't let them in.
No.
So they did that, got it approved, searched, found nothing. And when they did that, I was like, dang it. I was like, Jersey knows you're looking for them now.
Right.
In my head, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
Apparently Jersey's not very smart or didn't get the memo that they were looking for him.
Yeah, kind of the way they found him. He just popped up.
Well, he wasn't very far from the complex.
No, he was just in the neighborhood.
Yeah. So during that kind of time frame when the cops are kind of talking to some witnesses, one of the other deputies does some research and determines or finds that Jersey is obviously his AKA name. His legal name is, I'm going to mispronounce it, Altirik Kafi, something like that. And he also had like other possible cases going on and has a huge criminal record.
Right.
So there was like another case in a different county that people were looking into.
Looking for Jersey
because his name was dropped as well. And so the Vicky sergeant reached out to that county and was like, hey, are we going to step on your toes? Because I don't want to do that.
Right.
And they were like, no, there's only one way to find out if this guy's involved is to get him, essentially.
Right.
So that was kind of cool that other county gave her free reign, even though they have like their own investigation, know?
Right.
Because sometimes people are like, no.
Please don't.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of something.
Yeah.
Don't mess with that.
Right.
Yeah. So the cops stalk Facebook for a while and find another contact because one of the things they noticed about Morgan is that he was consistently posting on Facebook. And that was one of the flags that his whole friends and family everybody that knew him was like, man, I see him on Facebook all the time, and then I haven't seen him on Facebook in a while.
And they're like, that's super weird.
That is super weird.
Not his MO.
And so Easy,
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Eric Green,
Yes.
was one of the other people that they dug out of his social media. So it just goes to show, like, things that we post, like all of how things crawl back to you just in the digital world.
You never know, like, what's going to surface
what
back up.
one photo is going to send off the tip of the investigation,
During the interview with James, he did say that Morgan owed a lot of dealers some money. So it looked like that he possibly could have been mixed up with some of that type of stuff.
Well, yeah. His mom admitted that he was not on the straight and narrow, and that he unfortunately was dabbling in some of those illegal activities.
Yes. Which is never good to do when you have mental health issues either.
No. But you kind of see that go hand in hand.
Yeah, always, unfortunately. So Morgan owed some dealers a lot of money. The Jersey guy is connected with high-level dealers. Morgan and Jersey both are MIA. The police go back to the apartments to search, essentially. Because they're trying to figure out, like, obviously we know Morgan's missing, but they're also looking for Jersey, which they cannot locate him.
Right.
So they're going back to the apartments to search. I don't know whose apartment they were in, but where they found the bin.
Yeah, they were going to a location where Jersey was last known
Correct.
to be living.
Yes. And that was in one of the Springfield apartments, right?
Right.
Or Spring Hill.
Yeah.
So they find this random, like, bin with something
liquid
in it and some crazy liquid that I guess whenever you opened it like
smelled like chemicals.
very chemically.
Yeah.
So of course they get the hazmat people in there. They extract the bin. They take it out into the middle of the street, which I thought was interesting. They just took it out to the middle of the street.
Where else are you gonna put it?
To exhume and see what's in there.
Like, you don't know though.
Yeah, but everybody else that was standing around,
you could seal off the crime scene enough. Like, do it over there at this end of the parking lot where, like, you're not in the middle of the main view of things. But
right, but they were pulling. Okay, so they pull out what they thought could have been body parts.
That's what they assumed.
Yes, but it ended up being a bag of clothes.
Women's clothing.
They're pulling out these and they're just laying them out there, right there in the street,
They had
dude.
plastic down.
Yeah, but like, if the guy's pulling it out and he's wearing a hazmat suit and all the other police officers around them aren't wearing anything and all of those chemicals are out there, couldn't they have been contaminated?
Well,
also?
that is those people and those officers' problems. If they
Sheesh.
Here's the thing: if I see people in hazmat suits, you know what I'm not gonna do? Go hang around that area where there's people in hazmat suits.
No.
My curiosity be damned. Like, I am not.
I'm a curious person, but that's where I draw
I
the
mean,
line.
hazmat suits are a huge like warning. Like, if you see people shuffling around in oversized plastic bags, it's just best to, like,
I'm just gonna observe
back off for
from
a bit.
over here.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, absolutely.
No
same,
thanks.
Same.
So so they do that. They don't determine whose clothes they are.
No.
Unfortunately. Could have been someone that was involved, could have been that weird girl.
But it was like a
beginning.
very interesting find, right? Like,
yeah, like
what a weird. Why is there just a tub of clothes here and
in this
nothing
bin of
else?
chemicals?
Yeah.
I feel like they could have like searched through like social media or like that girl's social media if she had Facebook. That Sunshine Girl.
She didn't. All she had was Snapchat.
Of course. They always only have Snapchat. And they always only have, what's the freaking free phone number? Google Voice.
Oh, yeah.
It's the worst, dude. When I worked in bail bonds, whenever I would call someone and it was like, the Google Voice number you're trying to reach, I was like, damn it.
Dang it. I'm never going to reach.
Yeah. So yes, they pull the bin, find the clothes. Nothing comes of the clothes.
No.
They're moving along in the investigation. Deputy finds out that another deputy finds out that Jersey is involved in a major crimes case that had just surfaced. and and that was an assault case.
Right.
So that's interesting as well, because so he's got some other shit going on. Other people are looking for him, you know?
So I'm trying to figure out, how did they get the information on the car? Because the next bit is where they pull over that red SUV and they get the guy out of the car and they're like, hey, this is Jersey's car. Do you know where Jersey's at? That's how they get it. They get it from that investigation that pops up. They're like, hey, there's this red SUV that comes out of this. And they're like, okay, so we're going to go look for that. They find it, pull the guy over, and the guy's like, I'm not Jersey, but if you let me go,
I'll tell you where he's
at. And they're like, deal. So they go out and he says that, yeah, Jersey's just right up the street.
Yes.
So one of the things that amazed them in the investigation was the fact that the attack or whatever he did, the assault that he created was not that far away. It was actually in, I think, the Spring Hill area.
Yeah, I think so.
It was very close to home.
Yes.
So he didn't do a very good job just GTFOing after he kind of caught the hint that maybe the cops were on him.
Not at all. Not a very smart criminal at all.
After he gets sold out by this guy driving his car, supposedly, the cops just run up there and grab him.
Pretty much.
He's just standing on the street side, and she's like, I'm not going to talk about this with you. And he's mad.
He is
super mad. He's got a bunch of attitude. And and I get it too. I don't know what kind of history he has with the cops. He's probably got a very checkered past with them and does not, greet them with the same respect we would. But the hard part is, we don't get fucked with that much.
True.
He probably gets fucked with constantly.
Yeah. And doing the business that he does, unfortunately, you're going to get fucked with.
The first thing you're going to do is just deny everything. Because also keep in mind, folks, he is a dealer of illegal pharmaceuticals.
Yes. And he says in the police interview, he was a major dick in the interview room, yelling at the officer.
He's tearing up the
throwing
paper.
His hands everywhere. He was mad.
Yeah. Well.
He says, I only smoke crack with Morgan. I don't do anything else. But then he made a comment and he was like, I sell drugs and I people. Did you hear him say that?
And she's like, what why do you people? He's like, well, because I want to.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well,
hello?
What? I occasionally eat fast food that's bad for me because I want to, but that's not, I admitted that to the cops, not that.
Right.
Not that.
I know, Jesus.
Woo.
So,
he's
he's getting interviewed.
BS charges. These are BS
he's
charges.
Just going shit.
I don't know that dude. We weren't there. We weren't together.
Mm-mm. The cops are searching his apartment or wherever he was staying simultaneously while he's getting interviewed. They find an AR-15 there that was reported stolen. So that's not good for Mr. Jersey.
No.
And then he does name drop Sunshine. He says that if they want to find Morgan, that they need to talk to Sunshine.
Right.
And that was it.
Well, the reason why they needed to talk to Sunshine was because she called Jersey and was like, you got to get down here. You got to get down here. She starts hitching and crying and be like, they got Morgan. And they're like, who's they?
The elusive.
Yeah.
They. Always, right? So the cops don't know who Sunshine is.
No.
They're like, who the fuck is this girl?
But they do, though.
But they do. Because they figure out that she's the girl from the very beginning that they ended up talking to that was super friendly.
That just walked up on the cops. Yeah. Was like, hey, guys, let me tell you a story.
She has an interview with the police and is just, I don't know anything, just denying everything.
I wasn't there.
I wasn't there. Doesn't know anything. New info is coming up as they're continuing the investigations and interviewing people that everything is kind of leading more towards that. Unfortunately, this is turning into a homicide, not just a missing persons case, because up until this point, they were treating it as missing persons case because they had no evidence
There's no
showing
there's
that
no body.
Yeah, there's no body, the biggest factor of all, and there's nothing else pointing to
The
any
fact that
sort
he's
of
perished.
underlying. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which is sad because the mom was like, obviously has like the hope,
Yeah.
Morgan's mom, and then
Well, I mean, and I think that's the worst part about missing persons is that there's that awful possibility
that you're gonna have to make that phone call.
they're never gonna come back.
Yeah. And that is unfortunate. And having to make the phone call of, went to missing persons to now it's this.
Yeah.
That's got to be really hard. So Jersey says, so they then take Jersey back into the interview room. Like, okay, so after he was interviewed the first time, they do end up arresting him for dealer charges and stuff like that. Nothing to do with the missing persons case.
No,
because
he had an open warrant.
Yeah. So he's doing time, but they brought him back in,
right?
To interview him again and try to get some more information.
Because this is when they tell him. This is when they tell them about the phone call, and then that's how they get the information about the red truck. He's like, yeah, she told me that they used her vehicle to transport his.
Yes. Yeah, he says that's when he kind of like opens up, and he says that it happened in James's apartment.
Right.
And that
everything went down in James's apartment.
Yeah.
Like James was there, Sunshine was there.
Yes.
Easy was there.
Yes. All these little guys were
Everybody
there.
was there. James's apartment is the place to party.
Apparently.
Evidently.
So yeah, then that they used that red vehicle to move Morgan's body.
Right.
So of course they got a search warrant on the car. They locate the vehicle in the complex.
Cadaver dog.
They have it towed. Gets the dog. Dog does the search.
Dog
alerts.
hits. Yeah.
I love watching them work. It's so cute.
You're like, nah, look, they sit down.
I know, but like it's so interesting because like so many people are like, how does that mean anything? But like, unless you've like actually like witnessed that type of working dog being trained to do that, you have no actual like concept of like.
No, there's no context as to
like,
why they're sitting down.
Yeah, and like the
what is
cues,
them sitting down,
and like what it takes to get the dog to do that. And there's a very small percentage of dogs that can.
And the fact
do that
it's like there's dogs that do for, things that explode and the things that
only certain scents or only
for missing people
or like I had a comment. This is ADHD side quest, but I had a conversation with someone about like a medical alert dogs.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's crazy because like I wonder how they train for that. Like I've seen them train like a dog on how they teach them to do like human scent, drug sniffing, stuff like all of that type of canine police side of working dogs. I've seen how they do all that type of training, but how do they do the training for medical alert dogs?
I think we emit a certain scent.
Well, yeah, but like it's just crazy.
So like I've seen this happen, so where they take like a bunch of like normal.
They probably do it similar to how they do with
exactly,
drug
and then
scent.
they take people who have let's just go with like
diabetes.
There we go. So they take people who have diabetes, and it's like I don't know if I can't remember if they use their blood or something like that. They use samples of people, and they go, here's a room full of 10 people who don't and one person who does. Find me the sample who does. And so then the dog goes through and finds that sample and is just trained to search, smell, identify whatever it is that identifies that to them. That's the part that I don't get. It's like, what is it? I mean, obviously it's a smell, but like how did we? It's wild.
It is wild.
Yeah.
Like with like drug sniffing dogs, they teach them by initially teaching them to like stick their nose into something, first of all.
Yeah,
like,
you got to search something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when they find the box that has their toy in it, that's the reward, obviously.
Right.
So one box has the toy in it, and then the handler has a toy also. And so when they find the one in the box, they get the one in the box. But as the dog levels up, the door becomes locked. So when they find the box that has the ball in it, this is when they'll associate like a drug in
like
there
here's
with the locked
yeah.
box. So they have the ball and the weed in the box together that's locked. So now the dog can smell the ball, can't open the door to get the ball. So then they cue the dog to sit or whatever they want the dog to their alert to be. And then the handler rewards them, not by opening the box.
No.
Rewarding
by them cueing that there's something, that there's the thing in the box. Yeah.
And so by association, eventually they'll get to only having the item in there, the drug or whatever,
right.
the scent, not the scent and the ball. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And then, like, it's wild, dude.
That's so crazy.
Yeah, it's
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, the fact that dogs can do that is cool.
I know. It's pretty insane. Okay. Back around.
So the dog hits on the car.
Yes.
The car gets identified as being like the vehicle that transported
Correct.
stuff.
Yes. So they have determined that Morgan was unalived by James Kelly. Correct?
How? How did they determine that though?
Well, they think that James did that in the apartment and that Eric Green, easy.
Yeah.
And that's when James starts telling them the story.
What had happened.
Yes. Of someone comes over to buy some shit. They're in the apartment. Morgan goes to the back room with someone to do the deal.
Mm-hmm.
Arguing starts happening. I don't know if it's James that went back and saw them fighting and saw the other guy have him in like a chokehold.
Yeah. So like this yeah. So it was easy.
Yes.
So James goes back into the apartment, sees the altercation and goes, "Oh my gosh." And he explains that like he sees this man pick this man up by his neck and like just do things like the ragdoll thing, like his feet are no longer touching the ground. And then like continues to hold him that way until life is no longer available.
Correct.
So Easy takes a look at James and tells James like he's a little kid to go to his room.
Go to your room
and like mind your business.
Right.
We're doing stuff in here. And James says by the time he got out, the blanket was gone. Like everybody else in the house was gone and the car was gone. Mm-hmm. And so now they're like, okay, let's go back and get Easy.
Correct. And then they go and get him again. And at that point, I think they also interviewed Jersey again too, because Jersey and James start telling the same story.
Right.
And Jersey and James have not spoken to each other. I don't think
they haven't cooperated.
No, at all. And so they're saying the same story about this guy, Eric.
Right.
And so that's when they go to investigate Eric. And for timeline purposes, this investigation lasted around 2 months time frame from beginning until they went to go get Eric.
Right.
And so obviously when they get him, he's also very mad. He's yelling,
super
screaming.
heated again. Yeah. Well, I mean, it makes sense. It's just how he acts with the cops.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I'm sure they're probably used to it.
Yeah.
Ultimately, what ends up happening is he ends up getting charged with the unaliving. Well,
he denies a bunch of stuff.
He denies
He's
everything.
Like, it wasn't there. It wasn't me. I mean, Sunshine was there. So-and-so James was there. So-and-so was there. Like, I wasn't me. I didn't know that dude. I didn't have anything to do with that guy.
Right.
Like,
but everyone's story and the evidence they did have pointed to
saying
him.
that like Morgan owed you money. So,
right.
And you were known around the complex as being like some big rough and tumble guy, some guy
Correct.
that runs around and beats up grannies.
Yes.
You know, so he's not, you know, it looks like he can be easily provoked if you know.
Totally.
If you see what I'm getting at. So
yes.
James ultimately puts the nail in the coffin for Easy, but then like Easy throws the nail in the coffin for Sunshine.
Yeah. But then they go get Sunshine again and they bring her in. And again, she's just still denying everything.
She's like, I didn't do anything.
And
she denies everything all the way through to the end.
And then I thought it was kind of funny. Like, they're like, well, you're going to get charged with accessory.
Yeah.
Because you were a part of this. Like, everything.
And how they made it a point to say, well, like, she's the one who could just be like, here's the end of it. Here is
she had it all.
Here's where the rest of it is.
Yes.
Like, here's who done
because
the thing,
even
right?
at this point, they still didn't find a body.
That's really and ultimately the premise. It's missing, dead or alive. Well,
yeah,
he's ultimately still missing, and we assume that he has passed.
Yes, unfortunately, and they end up arresting
Sunshine
and Easy, and they're off to jail.
Right.
I did not follow up on their charges to see what they actually got charged with, and Netflix did not input that information into the documentary. But I will drop a little clip right here so you can see. But that is a wild story to me.
It was an interesting series. There's another case on there that we'll have to cover.
Next week we will dive into that one.
That one's kind of interesting. I rolled over into it a little bit, and I
have no idea what it is about.
It's about a missing person.
Oh. Yeah, I mean, missing person cases are crazy because, stuff like this happens all the time. Actually, there's a missing persons case going on in Colorado that I saw circling around today about a 20-year-old girl from Loveland.
Oh, no.
That went missing recently, like within the last day or two. But I've noticed, with social media and stuff, that it happens a lot. Like, I see probably on a monthly basis at least 5 different posts randomly, and that could be more or less. So on average, I would say on a monthly basis, at least 5 a month of missing people.
The thing that gets me is that I appreciate that social media is out there and it's helping us find these missing people, because social media gives you the opportunity to reach out and touch a whole bunch of people.
Correct.
And so I think back to the time of like the Lindenberg baby,
right?
When, there wasn't really any outlets for people to reach out. There wasn't, oh my gosh, hey, I totally saw that car down here by the da-da-da.
Now I understand why they had people on milk cartons.
Right. Like, that's how they had to try and find other people. It's been trying to find missing people has evolved so much as time has gone on.
Yes, but it's still something that I don't think will ever evolve to a point that's like,
not unless they start dropping microchips in us that get, have tracking GPS locations.
Exactly.
Which, we're all so scared of that anyways, but if we can implant these things, I'm sure we'd try.
Anybody have Life 360? Yeah. They can get tracked.
But like, as soon as you get separated from that, then you're stuffed.
True. But yeah, it's crazy. That it's sad. I can't imagine like how many missing persons cases there are across the United States on a yearly basis.
I'm sure there's a sad statistic.
Oh yeah, I'll drop it in. I'm sure.
Jeez.
Bloop, bloop. Dropping in all the facts today.
All the sadness.
Anyways, if you guys have an interesting missing persons case that you've come across, or another documentary that is true crime related that you have seen and watched, or want to share with us, please drop a comment below. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe while you are over there. We do appreciate your support, and we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
From truth or lies, we'll call it out. They whisper gossip, but we shout. Pop culture queens and headphones clear. Girl, did you hear what